Hi, welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. So today I'm going to be making a pumpkin soup with a savory granola topping. Let's get started. So for the savory granola, you're going to need pumpkin seeds, oats, clarified butter, which is ghee or regular butter, honey, chipotle powder, and a little bit of salt. To make the savory granola, all you're doing basically is adding all of your ingredients to a mixing bowl. And in this recipe, I'm going to be using a slightly less honey than what a typical recipe would call for. I don't want this granola to be too sweet, so just enough to bring it together to clump. I'm going to be adding in a little bit of the ghee. The ghee is going to give this some great flavor also, and that's going to be incorporated as the fat in here. And then I'm just stirring with my spoon to evenly coat the mixture. The last ingredient is the chipotle powder. That's going to give a little bit of smoke, and that's what's going to give this a little bit of the savory flavor that I'm talking about to complement this pumpkin soup. So stirring, and making sure that this is being coated evenly. Getting the last bits of honey into the bowl, and then just basically using my hands to bring this together. Once you've got this all kind of incorporated, you're going to place this mixture onto a sheet pan with parchment paper, and then just spread evenly onto your sheet pan. And then once you've got this placed on a sheet pan, you're going to place into a 350-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes, turning halfway through the cooking process. So once your granola is cooked, it should be nice and golden brown like in this picture, and then you're going to just use this later for when we put on top of our soup. So to make our pumpkin soup, you're going to need some chicken broth, freshly grated ginger, chopped onion, coconut sugar, coconut oil, curry powder, thyme, and cinnamon. You're going to also need some canned pumpkin and some full-fat coconut milk. So to start our soup, we're going to take a pot and place it on over medium heat, and we're going to add our coconut oil. And I'm using a virgin coconut oil, so we want the flavor of that to really come through. And I have this pan on medium heat, so we're going to stir the oil into the pan. Once the oil is coated on the pan, we're going to add in our freshly chopped onion. And we're going to just stir with the oil to coat. Once that's coated, we're going to add in that freshly grated ginger and give it another stir, and just keep stirring. And again, so once that's added, we're going to add our other spices, the curry powder and the thyme. This is going to really give it some good flavor. So when you're toasting spices, that kind of brings out the flavor. So you always want to just kind of layer in your ingredients like this when you're making a soup like this. And you're just going to keep stirring. And that curry powder is going to really infuse its flavor into this mixture and into the soup eventually. And you want to always keep things moving because you don't want things to burn at the bottom. So you got to kind of babysit a little bit. But this is a quick soup, so you won't be babysitting for too long. Once that's done, you're going to add in your chopped apple, and that's going to give this some nice sweetness to it. And I keep the skin on my apples, so you get all that extra nutrition in there. I'm using a Granny Smith apple, but you can use any type of apple. It'll all work well because it's all going to get pureed at the end. I'm adding a little bit of sea salt in here, or Himalayan salt if you want. And just keep stirring all of this together. One important thing you want to do is just make sure that your ingredients are chopped up evenly, like the apple, so that it all kind of cooks evenly. Okay. I'm adding a little bit of garlic powder to that. And you're going to keep stirring. Once that is all stirred in, you're going to add in your chicken broth. Now, if you wanted to make this strictly vegetarian, you could go with vegetable broth, but I like the flavor of chicken broth. Even in a pinch when you're making soup, you could use water also. You would have to adjust the salt with that because you get a little bit of the sodium content from using a broth. So that's something important. But you still can make a soup, something like this, even with water. And then other ingredient is our canned pumpkin that's going to be added to the dish. Or should I say the soup? As you can see, I don't waste anything. I'm scraping that bowl pretty good. And then you're going to just stir that pumpkin right into the mixture. So you're going to keep stirring in the pumpkin into the soup. The flavor is really going to come together. And we're almost nearing the end of all of our ingredients being added to this soup. And I'm just scraping off the last bits of onion and apple that are in the pot. And I'm adding in my coconut sugar. Now, if you didn't have coconut sugar, you could use another type of natural sweetener, which is what I like to use when I'm using sweetener. So you could use maple syrup if you wanted to. And then I'm just stirring that into the mixture. So now you can bring your soup up to a light boil, and then you're going to bring it down to a light simmer. You're going to place a lid on top and let it cook for 15 to 20 minutes. After the soup has cooked for the 15 to 20 minutes, you're going to stir the soup, and then you're going to take it off the heat. So now you're going to place the cooked soup into a blender, and we're going to just puree this soup super smooth. So once you've pureed your soup, you're going to place it back into your soup pot. And this is the step where you're going to add in your coconut milk. Now, I've probably added my coconut milk already to the mixture when I put it in the blender. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of like the last step. So you're going to just place it into your pot and kind of just warm it through. And you're going to just let it cook for about maybe another 5 minutes to bring the coconut milk with the rest of the soup. Now it's just time to serve up your soup. You're just going to place your soup into a bowl using a ladle, and then we're going to just top off with that savory granola. Now, I finished this off with, my way of just placing the granola straight down the middle, but you can put it in the center. It really doesn't matter. It's just a way of decorating it and also giving it some great flavor, which is really nice. So there you go, a simple pumpkin soup with the savory granola topping. I hope you enjoyed this video. You really can't go wrong with the simple flavors of I shouldn't say simple, the delicious flavors of curry powder and coconut milk and ginger. You really should try this recipe. I think you're going to enjoy it. But until the next time I make a video, I'll see you again and have a great day.